All right, update. Whole nother week. Some weeks went by.
You put the room AC in?
Nope. Nope.
I appreciate you doing your job,
But we got an S2000 on the lift. You've seen it before. We have done all the rear suspension, Inline Pro R200 diff with posi track, drive shaft shop, drive shaft and axles, and upgraded hubs. The next thing on the list is once the motor comes in, we'll have a sleeve block, turbo kit, everything. This thing's gonna make some pow pow. Now, Jeremy's working on an RSX over here that came in for a clutch job. I'm about to put the camera down and help him. Got this 4-door EK in, valve adjustment and a dyno tune. The Miata rolled in today for a couple odd and end fixes and a dyno tune on Mega Squirt. And the S2000 that we've been putting suspension on for the last couple days. Well, I say that, I've been on and off vacation. But back from the alignment shop, ready for pickup. This turd just got a valve lash adjustment. Jeremy's getting a new valve cover gasket ready now, and this back together. We going to lunch because we hungry. Stock Miata with a turbo kit in for a tune on Mega Squirt. Getting started on that. At the same time I'm getting started on this CRV. I just pulled the timing cover off of it. It appears the timing chain has broke or something's let go. Appears the bottom end turns over but not the top end. Give it a spin. Well, y'all saw it before I saw it. I had to stick the camera around the hood to see it since there's nobody here to help. But I believe those cams are spinning. So we got something else going on here. Okay guys, on the CRV, the top end is spinning over with the bottom end. All I have off right now is the valve cover. We're gonna go to a leak down test. I believe this thing's just jump time. What I'm gonna do, I just don't want to be fixing a motor here that it's not worth fixing. The owner of this now knows nothing about it. He bought it like it was. It's actually my landlord who owns a salvage yard. He's trying to sell this particular car instead of parting it out. So to see if this motor's worth fixing, I'm just gonna pull the cams out of it so I can do a leak down test all the way across the board. Doesn't matter where the pistons are. All valves should be shut without no cams in it. And I should get a leak down test. Hopefully we get some good results on the leak down test. I mean, we'll be back. All right guys, got far enough along on the Miata to do a base pull. We're not using the wideband or nothing on the dyno. It logs everything straight to the computer in the car. All we're reading on the computer is horsepower and torque. I'm gonna hook this RPM pickup up and give it a go. We'll see what the base pull does. Air fuels are safe. Timing is untouched. Guys, no torque reading. RPM pickups jumping all over the place, so that gets rid of that, and I can only go by speed. But that base pull was 169 to the tires. That's not bad, I guess. I don't tune many of these, but the owner did say he wanted 200 horsepower, and we're not too far away from it. But made a little more power that time. Oh, 172 to the wheels. I think I'm gonna let this thing cool off. Well, that wraps it up for the Miata on the dyno. That last pull made a little more jam at the high RPMs. It yielded 178. We're done here. I got to wrap up part throttle, cold starts, warm starts. It doesn't require the dyno. That's it for this one. That's all you'll see of it. We're done here. Single jingle setup with Vitar setup. Appears to be an eBay turbo. I don't really know much about it. We do have 1000cc injectors, an Omni 2.5 bar map sensor, and a full exhaust. But we just did our base pull. Let me clear this out of the way. I did not have the wideband in, I forgot. Looks like we can give it some more RPMs. But that base pull was on 7 PSI. And it gives us 216 horsepower and 171 foot-pounds of torque. Next pull, we're going to turn it up. Alright, that pull was on 13 PSI. I was watching the wideband in the car and it did not go lean. It appears the dyno wideband went lean, but it's in the tailpipe. Like I said, that was 13 pounds. That yielded 249 horsepower and 194 foot-pounds of torque. We're gonna keep on going. We gotta get near that 300 mark. Alright, that last pull, 273 to the tire for power, 202 for torque. PSI, we're at 15. I know it gets confusing to read all those lines. The dyno jet does that little backflip, I hate it. But I forgot to turn it more RPMs that go around. We're still at 7,400 RPM. I'm gonna turn it about 76, 77. Make sure there's no more power left on the table there. And we're gonna bump the boost controller up a little bit more. Only got 5% duty cycle I can give to that. So there's not much more left in it. Kinda is what it is. That last pull yielded 17 psi, which made 278 and 211 to the tire for torque. Clean graph. Air fuels are nice and good. It did go rich at the big end. I'm gonna just let the car cool off, pull some fuel out. We have maxed the boost controller out. It's done. There's no more boost left in it. So all I can really do is let it cool off and make sure she don't run rich at the end. That'll be it for the single cam.
Yeah, this car's pretty good.
That pull PSI was the same, 17. Let the car cool off, 287 and 215 for torque. Air fuels, follow that dotted line. All right, this is gonna be a wrap for Wednesday. Got the head off the CRV. It'll go back together in the morning. Just waiting on the head gasket. This Civic right here, can't see much of it now, it's in the air. Oh, let me show you this exhaust my buddy David Farlow over at Boost Fab did for this customer. 4-inch, all the way from the turbo back. You don't see that much on a Civic. I'll let this thing down, let you see it. But waiting on some boost by gear components for the ECU to come in. I ran out. Once that's here, we'll install it and she'll be on the dyno. All right, here's what we have on this turd. Borg S366, 4-inch downpipe, and you just saw the rest of it. I believe this is a stock head, stock cam combo. The bottom end is Wiseco's and Eagles. Stock bore CSS block. This thing's on pump gas. Still has a distributor. The plan is just turn it up and make all it can make on pump gas. We'll probably see a solid 450 plus out of this thing. But like I say, that's not yet. Waiting on some ECU parts. It's just a sneak peek. Stay tuned for this one. Here we have somebody's street car. All they do is street race with this. So it's not pretty on the outside. All the money spent under the hood. We've been having troubles with this one back to back to back. She's on here for like the 4th time. We had some fuel issues. Think I got them resolved. I'm about to do a base pull. Hopefully it has no misfires and it doesn't go lean. Hopefully we go rich. We'll see. Well guys, I think we fixed the problem. It woke the fuck up. The tires did not hold. We went pig rich, but I don't want to change anything until I get some weight on the car. I got it strapped down the best I can get it. It's got some little rinky dink tires on it. The tires ain't good enough for that PSI. 21.5 PSI. That did yield 364 to the tire for power and 233 for torque, but that was with it spinning. You can see the back flip here. Let me go over here to the computer. We can change this to speed instead of engine RPM on the bottom, and you'll see how it changes the graph. This is how you know the clutch and the tire didn't hold, but in this case I know it's the tire. We still have a dip in that torque curve. That's where the tire couldn't hold. So I'm gonna have to get some people to stand in the door jams, which there's nobody here with me right now, so that's kind of a fucked up situation, but I'll figure this out. right, we're back. Put some sauce on the tires and did a 4th gear pull instead of 3rd. And that yielded 389 and 307 to the tire for power and torque. It made a whopping 22 PSI. And we still went pig rich on the big end. So I'll be pulling some fuel out for this next pull. I'm gonna leave boost alone. She's up there. But we'll be back after I pull some fuel out. We're gonna try again. That pull didn't gain a shit. 388 for power, 307 for torque again. Grass real choppy because it's a 4th gear pull with a lot of tire wobble and shake. It reads power to the tire. Our goal here was 500 horsepower and it's looking like it ain't gonna happen. Most I'm willing to go on this setup is about 25 PSI. The turbo is just doesn't seem like it's doing anymore. It's spitting oil out onto the block and everything. I think there have to be some upgrading here before we can reach that 5. Alright, I don't think we're gonna get no more out of here. The boost controller is not doing nothing else. But we broke that 400 mark. 339 foot-pounds of torque. You might as well call that 340 because it says 339.99. Boost pressure that time 26. We ain't getting no more out of it. That's all she's got. Air fuel's a bit rich on the big end, but I'm gonna leave them that way. We only saw 11s, low 11s. For what this car is gonna be doing, living in the danger zone, I'm gonna leave it rich. Okay, back onto this car now that we're done with it. We have a LS VTEC CSS rod and piston combo, stock head, stock cam, eBay turbo. I'm uncertain of what the hell that is. Unknown ram horn, 3-inch up pipe, eBay intercooler, made 418. No more boost to be had out of the turbo, but I'm sure the customer will be back. He's always hunting more power. I think this is the best running setup he's had so far, but here's what I wanted to get at. That 418 was made in 100-degree weather. Let me go here. 98 degrees, humidity 41. Here's the next thing. This alignment is way out of whack. It's leaving rubber on the dyno everywhere. Black marks. I don't know if you can see it, but the tires are just towed in. That's a loss of power. There's way more power to be had on this car. It just needs a better turbo, front end alignment. There's no problem hitting 500 on this one in the future. I don't see an issue there.